looking for this?
I know you're planning to...
No?
Come. Don't be scared. I'm not here to harm you.
Just focus on spending your last days with your family. So,
Why?
because you're going to miss that.
Of course. Kinaju is to blame for the world coming down. Kinaju is to blame for the recent flood. The potholes on the road. Blame me for your stupidity. Blame me even for you coming to grocery.
Wow, Julia. You mean you are shining in gold nowadays?
Even listen to yourself before you speak.
Oh, please. We both know that I am a giver. Go spoil yourself, eh? I know you need it.
Well, thank you.
If you are referring to Kinanzui, you should know Kinanzui is no longer the watchman.
They have found someone else. Just the old school.
Wananifurusha hapa, mimi nimelelewa hapa. Na wewe nani alikuambia kwamba hii nyumba ni ya baba?
Hii ni nyumba ya kiongozi na wewe si kiongozi.
Mpike mjukuu wako nyanya.
Una mashani ni mpenzi wangu?
Tumenita nini?
Hiyo ni roho yake mbaya. Kwani wewe ni mtu wa kando? Fanya ndugu yangu, lakini ukae ukijua mimi ninaponea kwenye tundu ya sindano.
Kama ni kalume tare shakwa. Mkosa fadhila wewe. Una haya wala pia vibaya hujui.
Good afternoon. Well, my name is Wambiru. The latest news update. Our sign language interpreter is Ann Wangeshi. Well, to kick us off this afternoon, we shall be crossing Central Business District, where businesses have been closed and streets deserted in the Nairobi Central Business District. A protest now, a spot check by Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, Channel 1 News reveals that the streets are noticeably emptier than usual. Conduct patrols. For now, we join our reporter Yusuf Farah, who is currently at the Nairobi Central Business District, and he shall be giving us an update of what is currently happening in the Nairobi Central Business District. Now, Farah, if you can hear me.
Central Business District. You can just see what is happening currently. It is that we are the area where most of the activities are coming from, and there is
currently business district, whereby it seemed that the police are engaged with the protesters who are currently at the Nairobi Central Business District. We shall be keeping you updated. For now, we cross over to Kisumu, where in Kisumu, businesses opened up on Tuesday despite a call for demonstrations. And now we join our reporter who's currently in Kisumu town, whereby the date of what is currently happening. Achola Simon, kindly bring us to speed on what is currently happening in Kisumu. Well, we shall be keeping you updated on that. For updates on the developing stories of what is currently happening across the country, we have in various parts of the country, and they shall be bringing us up to speed on what is currently happening. For now, the role of Police Douglas Kanja has warned of plans by an organized group to infiltrate and destabilize operations organized by the youth. In a statement to Newsroom, Kanja revealed that they have received credible intelligence of such plans which could potentially jeopardize the safety of demonstrators. He has called participate in the protests to remain peaceful and vigilant and collaborate with security agencies for the safety. He has, however, assured National Police Service will play its part in ensuring the safety of the peaceful protest life and property. This comes as protesters took to the streets in their continued agitation for better governance. And now we cross Bumula, whereby businesses opened up on Tuesday despite a call for sustained operations. In a sport check by KBC Channel 1 News, led by Simon Achola, with the following details. Kindly, if you can hear me, kindly bring us to speed on what is currently happening in Kisumu.
Wambiru, calm here in Kisumu County at about around 10 a.m. in the morning today. What we saw is that a group of they were carrying the Kenyan flag and placards, of course, chanting anti-finance bill, and of course the anti-government ran through the streets of Kisumu CBD peacefully, going all the way from Kondele up until just about the state lodge that is on your way to Dunga. And of course, after there, they held and also the anti-finance bill chants for about 15 minutes or so, and it was entirely. Then after which they actually retreated and of course went their way. What we can actually report have actually closed today, and we understand why they're doing so, because previously demonstrations in this town have not peaceful, despite the fact that the last couple of demonstrations have actually been entirely peaceful. However, the businessmen and women when there are demonstrations. What we've also witnessed, Jackie, is a fact that there's a heavy presence of plain cloth doing rounds in the CBD, and this, of course, is just to ensure that everything is within the acceptable parameters. We have these officers, uniformed police officers, and of course in the anti-riots gear patched on their vehicles, and what they have been advantage position in the CBD, each and every batch or platoon, just ensuring that they keep peace. They have not the demonstrators in running battles or anything that would actually cause tension between the two groups. However, they've actually just taken advantage protesters to do the walking, the chanting, and the demonstration that they had indicated that they will be and they have also not engaged them in any way, and of course that giving the demonstrators that leeway to actually do full demonstrations that they wanted to do today. Credit to both groups in that the demonstrators have been largely have also kept off just to allow them to go about their activities. What is also not seen prominent names of in the demonstrations, and that has been the case ever since this anti-finance bill started a couple of weeks back, and that has actually been the situation that the demonstrators have actually come out, young demonstrators, if you may, come out, voiced their concerns, and of course have been allowed to go about their activities. The other thing that Jackie is that today's group is much smaller as compared to what we've actually previous demonstrations, and of course those that actually came out just came out on their motorbikes, waving Kenyan flags, and of course holding those posters that indicate what exactly they want to pass across, but largely remaining peaceful and ensuring that everything else is fine. So far, Jackie, we've not had cases of insecurity or
for that. For now, we shall be crossing over from Kisumu, whereby the protesters through the streets and businesses remain closed. For now, as we take a look at what is happening across the country amid calls for sustained democracy, we shall now be crossing over to Kangemi, where our reporter Abdiaziz Hashim is currently on standby to give us a detailed report and paint a picture. Abdi, kindly bring us to speed.
Well, I've been here for the last 2 hours, and you can hear some of the protesters here in Kangemi street, but the police are in numbers to ensure that does not get to an ugly scenes that we witnessed in the last few weeks or so here in Kangemi. What the police officers have been able to achieve today is that they have not even lobbed one tear gas canister for the last the police officers have been managing this particular road for the last 2 hours or so to just ascertain the transport sector and to ensure that this day we have seen one truck of a GSU been coming here to ensure that is not. Protesters have been peaceful for the last few hours or so, but the police have been able to man these particular areas. We have ever seen the police officers and to ensure that this particular area is a little bit safer. Now, this is the current situation here in Kangemi. The police officers, once they came here to ascertain, is that tuko live, mnasikika, tupatie tu dakika moja. These are some of the protesters who have been peaceful for the last few days or so. They agitate for their rights, but what the police have been able to do is that they have blocked the roads so that the protesters cannot reach all the way to the central business district, but they have a particular situation. We are talking about, please, we are currently live on the air, please, apologies for that.
Well, thank you, Abdi, for that report. Well, we see that some individuals to be featured, as you've reported that a peaceful protest across the country. For now, we move on. Hundreds of anti-government protesters barricaded the Namanga Road before bringing business to a standstill in Kitengela town. Tension remains high as protesters have also engaged police officers in running battles in Nairobi CBD, Homa Bay and Migori.
He protects us, Yes. We don't know.
There is no way some people can be paid to stop the demonstration. We are the Gen Z. We are fighting for our rights.
Wenye biashara wote, mtu kama mimi niko na rent ya 5,000 kwa mwezi, kila mwezi 5,000. Sasa kisi kama leo mwezi kifika atapata pesa kulipa rent kweli? Takosa pesa.
And now we cross over to the Nairobi Central Business District, where businesses have been closed and streets deserted in the Nairobi Central Business District today due to the planned protest. Now we shall be joining our reporter Yusuf Farah for an update of what is currently happening at the Nairobi Central Business District. Farah, kindly bring us to speed.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, Wambiru. We're coming to you live from Moi Avenue Street, and it's been quite a beehive of activities ever since the time that we got here. Protesters have been actively engaging the authorities who have been trying to disperse them ever since they come here. But from the time that we got here, there have been several tear gas canisters that have been thrown in a bid to disperse these protesters, just to make sure that the town, rather this road, business remains smooth and traffic can move as normal. But every time the tear gas canister is thrown, they move out of the street for a few, and then after some time they regroup and then come back here. So it's been quite a beehive of activities. The chase between the protesters and the police continues, but of course we're keeping it here. Sorry about that. We're staying here to ensure that we bring you the live images of the activities as they unfold. That is just a tear gas canister that has been thrown, of course, in a bid to try and disperse the protesters. That has been the activity that is happening here at Moi Avenue Street. Wambiru.
Well, Farah, they're joining us from the Nairobi Central Business District. Well, thank you so much, Farah, and stay safe. Well, there, Farah, updating us of the protesters actively engaging the authorities, as well as heavy police presence being witnessed at the Nairobi Central Business District. We shall be keeping you updated on the developments. For now, we move on to a different report where Bunge la Mwananchi now wants the government to take full responsibility on the recent tragic events that involve discovery of bodies in Embakasi's Kware area. The discovery of bodies has sent shockwaves through the community, raising serious concerns about security and governance. Bunge la Mwananchi, led by its Secretary General Francis Awino, further underscored the increasing pressure on the government to address the issue transparently and effectively.
If citizens can be butchered and deposited in a quarry at the doorstep of a police station, then there's no institution in this country that is exercising the legitimate power from the people. And we want all of them to pack and go. Number two, we would want to know from the developments from the day that these bodies were discovered, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kangemi, resigned from office. We as Bunge la Mwananchi also wish to know what he knew about this tragic incident.
33-year-old Collins Jumaisi Kalusha, who is reported to have confessed to the killing of women whose bodies were discovered at a dam site in Kware, Embakasi, has been arraigned before a Kiambu court. Kalusha was arrested on Monday in the wee hours of the morning before DCI detectives went to his house, where they discovered items said to have belonged to the slain women. He is reported to have confessed to killing 42 women, among them his spouse Imelda Judith Halenya, and disposing their bodies in the dam site in the last 2 years. He was this morning presented in court under a miscellaneous application as police seek more time to conclude investigation. So far, the mother-in-law of the suspect has recorded a statement with the Director of Criminal Investigations detailing how her daughter went missing in 2022. And now we link up with our reporter, Sarafina Ruby, who is currently at the City Mortuary, whereby she is following up on a report on any developments that have rather developed in the last few hours regarding the bodies that were recovered from the quarry dump site. Now, Robbie, if you can hear me, kindly bring us to speed on any developments.
Indeed, a very good afternoon, Jackie. We're coming to you live from the City Mortuary here in Nairobi, whereby we're continuing to follow up on the incidents in Quarry, whereby a number of bodies were retrieved from Quarry in Mukuru, Kwanjenga, and some of the bodies have been brought here at the City Mortuary. And as we had, according to the information we had gotten earlier on, is that about 10 bodies have been brought here at the City Mortuary. And to just get more information, I'm going to be speaking to the Vocal Africa CEO to just tell us, as of now, what he's been able to establish at this particular place. Karibu sana. What is the latest from the mortuary in regards to the bodies that were brought here?
What we can confirm is that today they're just doing the X-ray of the bodies they've received, the scanning. There's no autopsy ongoing. This will be done tomorrow when the doctors are all in. Yeah.
And according to the families that have been able to arrive, have they been able to identify the people?
Not yet. As you can clearly see, the morgue today, the work is not going on as it should. Everyone is being referred to tomorrow, so we're expecting that tomorrow more action will be undertaken. We have families that have come also looking for their kin, but everything has been pushed to tomorrow.
Maybe for our viewers, tell us how many bodies were retrieved since Saturday up to now.
The numbers that we have roughly is about 10. Yes.
That have been brought here at the mortuary. But how many were retrieved on Saturday, on Sunday, and on Monday?
Yes, we had first of all 8 on day 1. Day 2 we had 5. Day 3 we had 1. And day 4 yesterday we had 2.
And the retrieval process is still ongoing?
The retrieval process is ongoing. From what we understand, even now they've already recovered 1 body. Yes.
And how is the process? Have you experienced any challenges?
The challenges are always there. Lack of equipment, lack of understanding between the police and the community. Those are the 2 main challenges.
What's your call to the government?
For government to step in to make sure they have enough facilities so that we can assist communities to recover these bodies.
Well, thank you very much. Well, that is the CEO for Vocal Africa just giving us a brief on the number of bodies that have been retrieved from Quarry and just telling us that the number of bodies that have been identified here at the City Mortuary are about 10. And today the process is not ongoing because some of the doctors have not been able to come to the City Mortuary because of the ongoing protest. But as of tomorrow, the process will continue. What is happening right now here is that the X-ray process is ongoing in regards to the parts of the bodies that were brought here. So we're still going to follow up to just continue seeing if anything will develop as the day progresses. Back to you, Jackie.
Well, thank you so much, Sarafina Ruby, there joining us from the City Mortuary, where 10 bodies are recovered or rather retrieved from the quarry dump site are being kept at the City Mortuary. Well, we shall be keeping you updated on any developments. For now, we cross over to Wabera Street, where our reporter Alan Aoko is currently manning the street, and he shall be giving us an update of or rather painting a picture of what is currently happening businesses to businesses rather, and what our business people or the business community rather saying regarding the outcome of today. Alan, kindly bring us to speed.
Scenes like this are becoming all too common to our viewers now. We are here at the junction of Wabera and Standard Street, where it is usually a very busy metropolitan area. In this section we are in specific, we have banks, we have eateries, we have M-Pesa shops, which is very common here. And what you see today is totally different. If maybe we can just show you a bit of what we are seeing. We are in the median, which normally you will not be
able to stand in the middle of the road. From where you can see, these are common places of business. We can see banks are shut. We can see very few patrons, if any, walking around the street. We also see a few taxis, but they are not open. This is the famous Trattoria restaurant, which we actually saw the owner earlier just assessing the situation and was looking at whether he should continue to open his shop or not, but he has since closed shop and has shut and left. We are seeing the Pronto restaurant, a very popular place for having your lunch. But as you can see, we have a heavy presence of police just going around the area, patrolling the area, making sure that there are no random people standing about. They're not allowing people to stand about here. They're also not allowing a lot of crisscrossing by motor vehicles or a group of, motorcycle dealers here. The situation is such. You see the shutters here. These are shops that we probably hoped that maybe in the morning would be open and maybe serve their patrons a bit, but are now shut. But what is interesting, let me just cross over and show you something here on the side of the road. Across the road, we have a very established business that is usually here. It's been here for years. People who've lived in Nairobi will tell you this shop has been here for several years. But if you can see, the shop was the goods that were in here taken, and since then it's gathering dust. This happened on June the 25th. The shop was vandalized, the windows broken, the merchandise that was inside taken. And this is what businesses today are trying to avoid. They are trying to avoid looting, and that's why you are seeing many businesses are shut at this particular moment. Some were open in the morning, and what is interesting is that the big corporate companies were open in the morning, but the small businesses were closed. They're fearing because they have more to lose on their own than the corporates. But that is the situation here in CBD as we speak right now. We are seeing a lot of police activity. Patrons are not coming through town at the moment because of what is happening now. That is the situation here. But we will give you more updates even in subsequent bulletins and give you updates on what is eventually happening towards the end of the evening. Will people resume businesses, or will it remain as it is now? Back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Alana Oko, there, painting a picture of the aftermath of some of the previous protest, and also stating that the business is at a standstill as a result of the protest, with heavy police presence being witnessed at Wambiru Street. Well, remember, this comes amid fears of vandalism and looting, similar to what was witnessed during previous protest. Well, on that note, we shall be taking a short break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far, we still have more news coming up.
Unajua, token mita yako inahitaji system update. Ni rahisi na ni free. Ukipata ujumbe kutoka Kenya Power, yani SMS, weka kodi ya kwanza kureset, alafu weke kodi ya pili kuupdate, ili token mita yako iendelee kufanya kazi kama kawaida. Update token mita yako. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwako na Kenya Power and Lighting Company.
Welcome back. This is Lunchtime News. My name is Wambiru. We're keeping you updated here on Lunchtime News on what is currently happening across the country as well as across borders. And now, For now, we cross over to State House Road, where police presence has been significantly increased, with contingents stationed at all major entry points leading to State House. We now join our reporter, Khalid, who shall be keeping us updated on what is currently happening. Khalid, if you can hear me, kindly bring us to speed on the developments where you are at the moment.
A very good afternoon to you, Jackie Wambiru, from the broadcasting house. We are coming to you live from Dennis Plate Road along State House, the road that connects to State House. And for the past 3 hours, we have been camping here. And if my cameraman can pan around to at least show you the situation and what is happening around here at State House. And if you can see, contingent of police have blocked key roads leading to State House in anticipation of the planned protest today on Tuesday. And as I have said earlier, all roads leading to State House have been barricaded with motorists coming from Lavington or Kileleshwa being checked thorough before being allowed to pass this road. And as I've said earlier, protesters who had planned to march to the city center to mourn those killed during the past anti-finance bill. And as I've just indicated earlier, as you can see from the live pictures there, security apparatus, our security teams have sealed off all roads leading to and connecting to State House, with motorists being diverted to use alternative routes. Those are live pictures coming to you from Dennis Plate Road along State House, the road that connects to State House. And I've indicated earlier, motorists are being allowed to just slowly move and pass around here. But first, all motorists are being checked, thoroughly checked, before being allowed to pass these routes. Those are the live pictures we are showing you now live along State House. And we will keep you updated as the days goes by. Back to you in studio, Jackie Wambiru.
Well, thank you so much. That was Khalid giving us an update on what is currently happening around State House, whereby police presence has been significantly increased, with contingents stationed at major entry points leading to State House. Well, we shall be keeping you updated on what is currently happening across the country. For now, we move on. The Movement for Democracy and Growth has dismissed calls for dialogue among the political class and instead urged the president to focus on addressing grievances raised by the youth. Led by Ugenya Member of Parliament and party leader David Ochieng, the party told of Azimio coalition leaders pushing for dialogue, saying they were pursuing the self-interest. Speaking in Kitale, Trans Nzoia County during the MDG Party Delegates Activation Forum, Ochieng said the opposition should allow the president to focus on reorganizing his government. Additionally, they lauded the recent dissolving of the cabinet by President William Ruto, urging him to appoint competent cabinet secretaries who would help him achieve his transformative agenda.
Nakwambia Raila Odinga pia penye yuko kwamba this is not the time for dialogue. This is the time to work for the Kenyan people and meet their needs. Kama ni mambo ya wanafunzi wako shule university, wapewe pesa na help waende shule. Wakiongea, the only beneficiaries are politicians. Wakizungumza mambo ya dialogue, the guys who benefit are politicians. The wananchi wanabaki hohehahe. Tukiweka watu ambao hawajahitimu kwa kazi yao katika kazi ya serikali kwa sababu ya ukabila na corruption, hatuwezi kwenda mbele kama nchi.
Over 170 secondary school principals in Kirinyaga County convened to discuss recent cases of strikes affecting schools in the county. The team, led by Area County Commissioner Hussein Alaso and Central Region Director of Education Sabina Aroni, challenged the institution heads to respond to learners' concerns in diplomatic ways, as well as include the teachers in conversations with the student. This comes days after Kirugua boys and Carrier boys were closed indefinitely following the razing down of dormitories, which disrupted learning.
can do so that we prevent? Because actually, you are capable of preventing. What are we going to do so that we prevent, so that we do not say another dormitory ban?
We have this perception that maybe students are banned in school because of fear of. Can we zero at that the cause of fire in second time in schools is because of lack of fear of exams? Your school is as good as you are. We depend on you, principals, to avert this problem.
Meru County Commissioner Jacob Ouma has assured herders within Meru County Northern Grazing Zone of enhanced security measures following a spate of bandit attacks in the region. The County Commissioner observed that from July 6 to July 12th, the Northern Grazing Zone, which includes Mortuary, Igembe North, Igembe Central, Tigania East and Tigania West sub-counties, experienced 6 raids by cattle rustlers. During the raids, a total of 819 livestock were stolen. Ouma notes that the security forces have been active in pursuing the bandits and have successfully recovered 556 cattle, with efforts ongoing to recover the remaining 237 livestock.
Mikakati ya usalama imeimarishwa, vikosi vyote viko ange, na katika juma hili ambalo tumekuwa na uvamizi ambao hatukutarajia, tuko na ndege ambayo tumepewa na serikali ambayo iko standby ya kutusaidia katika aerial surveillance. Ningewaomba wachungaji wale ambao wanataka kwenda na ng'ombe peke yao, wanataka kukwepa utaratibu wa usalama wa uchungaji ambao umewekwa katika maeneo ya Northern Grazing Zone, ya kwamba wajiepushe na huo mtindo, kwa sababu wanakuwa kitu inaitwa soft target. Wakati wewe unapatikana peke yako na mifugo yako, wale mifugo wanapochukuliwa, hata wewe umechukuliwa, inakuwa ni vigumu sisi kujua kwamba kumekuwa na uvamizi.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development has launched a 5-year food and nutrition security project at Mortuary in Samburu County. Speaking during the ceremony, Samburu Governor Gabriel Lenengwesi said that 7 arid and semi-arid counties, among them Samburu, Baringo, Isiolo, Garissa, West Pokot, Marsabit and Turkana, are set to benefit from the 5.3 billion shillings project funded by the Africa Development Bank Group. The project, which is aimed at building resilience for food and nutrition security, is a multinational program that will cover Kenya, Ethiopia, Djibouti, Somalia and South Sudan.
Brefon's investment is little, but the impact is huge. Because the beauty part about it, they don't look some of this project in terms of monetary. What they want, it really doesn't matter to them how much the borehole will cost, how much the dam will cost. They wanted actually to make sure that it has impact, and it's majorly is infrastructure development.
Hii mradi inalenga kuleta maji kwa mfugaji, inalenga kuleta nyasi kwa mfugaji, na inaleta kutekeleza miradi ya soko kwa mfugaji ili aweze kupata pesa kwa mfuko.
Nilikuwa kwa hiyo kamati ambayo tulifundishwa kupanda nyasi, na pia tulijengewa store mahali ambayo tukikata nyasi ama watu wakikata nyasi tunaweka hapo. Kwa hivyo tumefurahi, tumeendelea, na sasa mambo ya nyasi tumeshika na tunafanya vizuri.
And now we take a look at a different report where the Dadaab Member of Parliament, Farah Maalim, has appeared before the National Cohesion and Integration Commission after he was summoned last week. Now let's listen in.
Violence. I would never harm my own children. I have children who are in Gen Zs themselves. I have many young men and women whom I have educated myself through all the institutions in both all over the world and as well as in our country here, who are very useful to our society now, from across the board, not just my ethnic or my constituency. So it's a pity that people thrive on that. And this was done by people from outside. It was actually done by people from across the border, from Somalia, or whatever, Somalia, and all those regions of Somalia with their own issues there. So I've done that. They are going to do their own, proceed on from here on, and get to the bottom of it. I would want us to get to the bottom of these things.
Do you believe you'll be given a fair hearing?
Oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, I mean, fairness and justice. You see, I can't from one side be talking about how a government should treat its own people. And literally talking about conflict of interest and all these other things and impersonal application of the law. Because that's all the things I'm talking about. And the need for us to have meritocracy, where you give the job to the best qualified people for that. And then on the other side, I come out there and say, and the freedom in one man, one vote, and all those things, you know what I mean? For everybody, people to be equal before the law, and democracy to be entrenched. And those are the kind of things that are going to create stability in Africa. In Africa, instability is brought about by discriminations. It's brought about by using the instruments of government for personal use. If we have a fair system, then that fair system...
Well, that is the Dub Member of Parliament, Farma Alim, who has just appeared before the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, where he's recorded a statement with the Commission over remarks he allegedly made regarding the Gen Z demonstrations against the Finance Bill 2024. Well, according to NCIC, the MP's remarks were likely to incite hostility and discrimination. Well, we shall be keeping you updated. For now, we move on. Kisii County Women Representative Doris Aburi has heeded the call by the Kisii South Sub-County residents to repair stalled borehole instead of constructing a new one in the area. The stalled borehole was commissioned by former President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2017 but stopped working in 2022 due to mechanical defects and failure to settle high electricity bills.
Kuna borehole ilianzishwa ile wakati ya campaign 2017. Wamama wakatumia maji, ikafika katikati 2022 ikachoma vitu zake hizo mota na bili ya Kenya Power ikaenda very high. So wamama wapati maji wanatumia wakiwa huku sokoni. Na unajua kukiwa na maji wanaosha matunda, wanaosha mboga, hata wao wenyewe wanatumia hayo maji. Nataka niwekea wamama sola vile nimeweka kwa boreholes zingine ndio wapate maji 24 hours. Kama mama anafanya kazi daytime kuna maji. Kama mama anafanya kazi usiku kuna maji.
And now on education matters, 5 students from Kenyan schools will represent the country at the 65th edition of the International Mathematical Olympiad, a World Championship mathematics competition for high school students that is held annually on a rotational basis in different countries. The students include Cynthia Kathomi Morio, Master Gilbert Ngoro, Tony Rochicho Thiambo, Alfred Githui Morio, and Lenny Moriungi, Mutuma, drawn from different high schools. The event is underway at the University of Bath in the United Kingdom and is set to end on the 22nd July 2024. Center for Mathematics, Science and Technology Education in Africa's Master's Deputy Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics STEM Coordinator STEM Mungai exuded confidence that the students will flag the country's flag high.
It's a team that is made up of very brilliant boys and girls, and we hope that we are going to come back with medals for this country. And also, it's also going to create an opportunity for these students to have a platform to engage with other students at the international level, at the global level. And these are students from all corners of the world, the best of the best in mathematics. And we hope that this platform is going to give them a springboard, or it's going to serve as a springboard for them.
And our cross-borders preliminary results released show Paul Kagame is poised to win the Rwandan presidential election by 99.15%. Kagame, who is vying for a 4th term, was running against 2 opposition candidates, namely Frank Habineza of the Democratic Green Party and independent candidate Philippe Paimana. Now, the Electoral Commission barred 8 other candidates from vying for presidency, citing, among others, missing and incomplete registration documents.
The Rwandese people lined up from 7 a.m. local time on Monday to elect their next president. The chair of the National Electoral Commission, Oda Gazinzigwa, says in a statement that the overall voter turnout was 98% of the 9 million registered voters. The preliminary results released late on Monday evening indicate that Paul Kagame is ahead with 99.15% of the 78.94% of the votes counted so far. Frank Habineza of the Democratic Green Party emerged second with 0.53% of the vote, while the independent candidate Philippe Mpayimana holds the third position with 0.32% of the vote. More than 300 international observers were present in Rwanda, along with about 700 local observers. Paul Kagame is credited for transforming Rwanda into a thriving economy, although he has also faced criticism from rights activists and Western nations for muzzling the media, stifling opposition, and allegedly backing rebel groups in neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. Tilio Marco for Lunchtime News.
Residents of Kemayet Trading Center, Bumula Sub-County in Bungoma County woke up to a rude shock following the killing of a local security guard a few meters from a police post. The incident, which has sparked outrage and fear among the locals, interrupted business activities within the trading center as they protested against the alleged murder. The residents are now calling for an immediate transfer of all the police officers attached to the station, citing negligence.
Usiku wa kuamkia leo amepatikana ameuawa, amekatwakatwa karibu na ofisi ya maaskari. Hiyo ni police camp. Karibu mita 20 tu amepatikana ameuawa mahali pale.
Kwamba tu hao afisa waondolewe wote, kwa sababu ingekuwa changaa ingekuwa walishashika huyo mtu. Lakini kwa sababu kwa changaa wanatukimbiza, lakini mtu ameuawa kwa mlango yao.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV station like no other. Get a taste of the best in entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Feel the passion.
Will you promise me?
I swear that you will never lose me. I can't get married to you.
I'm sure you knew about it. That's why you're making fun of me.
Experience the drama.
Get out.
Who is the man in this one?
And the laughter.
Hii wigi umevaa kichwani.
Sisi wakati tulikuwa tunapishwa tunapewa mheshimiwa.
Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow. Yeah!
We are the full package.
Oh, yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Welcome back, and we do apologize for the sound hitch experienced earlier. Now on business news, the government in collaboration with the German Development Bank is set to roll out a 3.7 billion shilling project to improve access to financial services for small businesses. Part of the project includes establishment of a center for entrepreneurship located at Kenya Industrial Estates.
Kenya faces great challenges in combating unemployment, especially among young people. 2/3 of the working population is between 15 and 34 years of age, and estimates show that 80% of Kenya's unemployed are young people. According to the International Labour Organization, youth unemployment rate has averaged 26% over the last 10 years. To combat this, the government partnered with the German Development Bank to create a center for entrepreneurship located at Kenya Industrial Estates. Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Principal Secretary Susan Mangeni says the center will be rolled out in this financial year and will provide a space where young entrepreneurs can meet with mentors and other actors from the field of enterprise development to build their skills and develop functional networks. Frederick Moki for Lunchtime News.
At least 4.2 million prepaid Kenya Power customers have updated their token meters out of the targeted 7.2 million. Kenya Power is reminding prepaid customers that they have until the end of next month to update their meters to continue having electricity access. Kenya Power's General Manager in charge of Commercial Services and Sales, Engineer Rosemary Odwar, says the ongoing free exercise is part of an ongoing global exercise that targets all prepaid meters that use the standard transfer specification, a universal method to transfer tokens to prepaid meters that ensures the security of generated tokens. Odwar says prepaid customers are receiving their reset and update codes when they buy tokens for use in updating their meters. And now in the sports arena, England and Spain flew back to their respective countries as the Football Association got into gear by writing up a shortlist to replace Gareth Southgate. Southgate's contract expires this year, and he has not said if he will lead England into the next World Cup in 2026.
England footballers arrived home after a heartbreaking defeat to Spain in the final of Euro 2024. For the second successive year, Gareth Southgate's men came within touching distance of silverware, but fell short at the final hurdle. After going behind, Southgate's men levelled against Spain with an exquisite shot from substitute Cole Palmer. But Spain's Mikel Oyarzabal broke England's hearts with a winning goal in the 86th minute. Elsewhere, thousands of fans joined street celebrations in Madrid after Euro 2024 champion Spain returned home to a royal welcome. Spain beat England to win their record fourth European crown. They travelled from Germany to the Spanish capital and first met with Spain's king and his family. The party then continued into the city as supporters gathered and lined the streets for Spain's open-top bus parade in anticipation of seeing their heroes and the trophy.
Well, that brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing Lunchtime News. For more news, check out our website at kbc.co.ke. Our sign language interpreter is Anwangeshi. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Enjoy na GoTV. Beste yako wafuta. Tuna connect na ligi zote. Jisikie GoTV leo ujinice na the best futa live on SuperSport. GoTV. Love it.